Hey guys, what is up? I'm Lena and this is Axel and welcome to the channel. I'm gonna put him down before I talk about anything or else he'll get very upset. Okay, so he's watching TV now, but anyway, let's get into today's video. So today I'm going to be talking about my experience with my son teething. If I look down, that's because I do have notes here just so that I don't forget anything. If I look the same as another video that I don't know if I'm putting it out before this or after this, but if I look the same as in the baptism video, that's because this is the same day. I just have a lot to do today and I couldn't fit both of these things into different days, so we're doing both today. Hope that made sense. And also, if you hear noises in the background, Axel is watching Paw Patrol in the next room. I'm just going to be going over basic things that I didn't know or that everyone experiences differently, that maybe if your son or daughter is starting to teeth, you have these questions, or maybe you're just pregnant and you have these questions for when the time comes. I'm going to answer them from my experience. So the first thing that you're probably going to be wondering to yourself is, how long does teething last? This is the hugest range for like anything baby ever. Some babies are even born with teeth. I know somebody that just had a kid and he was born with one tooth and he got a second tooth a few weeks later. That's rare. Usually they start getting teeth between 4 and 7 months, usually on the later side of that as well, 7 or 8 months. That doesn't mean that they start getting teething symptoms between 4 and 7 months. Axel started getting teething symptoms at 2 months, and the tooth did not pull through till he was 5.5 months old. So he had teething symptoms of drooling. He needed to bite on things because it hurt. I guess those are the only 2 symptoms that he had before the tooth cut through. But anyway, just as far as how long that will last, it could start anytime. Once the tooth cuts through, you're usually only going to have a few hard days, like maybe 2 or 3, maybe 4 really hard days of that tooth cutting through and coming up a little bit. That being said, a lot of the time, as soon as they get over those few days of pain from one tooth cutting through, another tooth will come through. So that's super unfortunate and super annoying and super hard on us mamas, but that's just a lot of the time how it happens. What are symptoms of teething? Drooling, excessive drooling. Bubby is a drool machine. It's crazy. He makes himself soaking wet. I have to change him a million times a day, even with bibs on and whatnot. They're obviously going to be having a lot of discomfort. They're going to want to chew on everything. They're going to be putting everything in their mouth. And then once the actual tooth cuts through, you might get a slight fever. You might get a big fever. I got a pretty big fever with Axel. I had to give him some Tylenol a couple times. Those are pretty much the 3 main things. But also sometimes your kid might refuse to eat. My son didn't, but look out for that. It's usually no cause for major concern unless they're really not eating or drinking so much that they're getting dehydrated, and you can always check for that by seeing if they're producing enough wet diapers for the day. So how can you help your teething child and reduce their pain and soothe them? Obviously, there are teethers. There are multiple different kinds of teethers. There are teethers that are pacifiers. There are teethers that are handheld. There are teethers that are toys. There are teethers that you can put in the fridge. Teethers are basically most people's #1 go-to. My son doesn't like teethers. He likes one that I have that vibrates a little bit, but he doesn't bite down hard enough on it for it to vibrate, so I end up holding it in his mouth forever, and I'm not doing that. I don't have time for that. So right here, I just have a basket of all of his binkies and teethers. He doesn't use binkies anymore. He won't take them. He don't like them. I don't know why, but I'm kind of okay with it because that means I won't have to wean him off of them later. But anyway, so these are the pretty standard handheld kind. These ones you're able to put in the fridge. And then these are the ones that are like kind of like toys that I was talking about. Really any teether you can put in the fridge. anything you could put in the fridge and make it cold for your kids. So yeah, and then he's got this one's really, really hard, and this one is the vibrating one, and then this one is actually a teething mitt. This is by Nuby. This one worked really, really well for him. He liked it a lot. They also make socks because kids love to lay down on their bags and take their foot into their mouth. So maybe I'd get one of those instead of the mitten if your kid does that. And then these are the ones that are like pacifiers. So when your kid doesn't like teethers, there are still other options. Those mesh things, I'll insert a picture right here. But they have these mesh things that you are supposed to put fruit and vegetables in for your child, and then it's mesh so they don't choke on it. I put ice in there and I let him chew on it, and I hope that it numbs the pain for him. But even if it doesn't for the time being, he likes to chew on ice through that thing. So there's an idea that I haven't found anybody else say. So you probably haven't found it anywhere. So there you go. Also, Tylenol is a pain reliever. A lot of doctors and a lot of mamas are going to say, don't give your child medication when it's not needed. And I do agree with this, but when your child is screaming in pain for hours and nothing's helping and they're not taking teethers or ice or whatever else you've tried, give the kid a little Tylenol. He's probably exhausted and can't fall asleep because of his tooth. So just a little bit's okay. It's okay sometimes. But obviously, to each their own. If you don't feel like doing that, you don't feel like doing that. They also make those soothing tablets. I've tried them with Axel. They don't work. And then, of course, they also make soothing gels like Oragel, or Baby Ganix has one. I think Munchkin has one too. Or no, it's Nook or Nuke or Nuby. They have one. And that one actually comes with a little tray that's a teether that you can put the gel on and put it in their mouth. He likes the tray a lot. None of the gels, none of the brands have done anything for him at all. So, yeah. The last thing is, once the tooth cuts through, how long until it's done coming up? Once again, that's different for everybody. Once it cuts through, like I said, within 3 or 4 days, your child will probably stop experiencing pain from that tooth coming up. And then from then on, it will probably take about a month. Most of the time, it takes about a month. With Axel, it took about a month. So there you go. That's the end of my little ramble on teething. That was, how long do teething symptoms last? What are teething symptoms? How do you reduce your child's pain? And how long does the tooth actually take to get here? Hopefully that helps somebody. I know this video is really fast and really bad quality, but believe it or not, my camera is actually worse than the webcam. So this is all we got right now. But if you did like it, leave a thumbs up, leave a comment below, subscribe, do all of the things, help me out, leave advice, leave videos you want to see. I am super, super excited to make more videos, and I will be seeing you shortly. Bye, guys.